We are back with another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight up gameplay, some impressions, what we're thinking, just to help you make a better informed decision if you're gonna buy a game or not. I'm Falcon, and I'm not super happy today. Today it's Dynasty Warriors 9, and this was a game I was looking forward to, but I can't really say it was what I was expecting. And maybe I shouldn't have been expecting what I was expecting, but let's talk about it. So this is a game where they've taken the Dynasty Warriors formula and put it into the open world. And I'm not going to say that that was a bad idea, because it wasn't. In all honesty, the thought was what made me interested in the game. Like, I've played a lot of Dynasty Warriors games. They're fun, but they aren't games that are massively oriented towards depth. Narratively speaking, they've always done a decent job. The romance of the Three Kingdoms, whatever you think of the story, is usually portrayed pretty well in the Dynasty Warriors games. And I guess it continues that tradition, but alright, let's talk about the voice acting first off. It's in English, which can either be good or bad, and it is bad. It is so bad. I know there's gonna be a lot of people who absolutely just focus razor sharp on the voice acting because it is so distracting. And I wanted to address it first because frankly I don't want to talk about it a lot. It is one of a few things that are pretty distracting actually, the way they implemented the open world, which is as a means to give you some sort of a breakup between the fights, you know, the reason you're playing the game. You get basically an empty open world with some towns that you can traverse via horse. You can fast travel to places you've already been, which means that to find new action, you're basically stuck on your stupid horse, going thousands of meters, taking way too long to get to where you need to go for the next Dynasty Warriors thing to happen. And let me be really clear, that's really the flow of the game for somebody who is just looking for the Dynasty Warriors action. The moment it became apparent to me that the open world isn't very interesting, it's kind of bland, it's just an expansive wilderness, and kind of exists, I think, specifically to say that there's an open world in the game. Oh, and to make it so that you have places to gather things that you can craft items from. Ooh. Yeah, crafting some items was certainly the thing I was thinking, man, I want Dynasty Warriors 9 for. Because the exploration element primarily revolves around collection. It's like if you took the Banjo-Kazooie thing but made it play like Dynasty Warriors without any combat. Not what I would call enjoyable. So I did everything I could to skip that stuff. And even so, the reason you play Dynasty Warriors is because the battles are stupid but fun. They're arcade-oriented, they're impossible, they're silly, and they're a spectacle. But when the game is specifically turn on, go to menu, select what battle, and then do the battle, you don't really end up having to adjust between the various different styles of play, and the flow keeps the battling fun, whereas there is none of that in this game. You either go straight to a battle that is part of the story, or while you're riding towards a battle that is part of the story, you just kind of wait. You can set the horse to auto-ride there, which makes it take longer because the horse seems to have no frigging idea how to take a straight line there. And again, I'm not going to say that the open world is inherently a bad idea. It just exhibits all of the problems of a game that uses the open world wrong. And unfortunately, for every Horizon Zero Dawn, there's about 10 to 15 generic Ubisoft Assassin's Creed ripoffs. And once you get to a battle, let's just go ahead and say this. The battles have been dumbed down, and I'm saying that about Dynasty Warriors. I can't believe that. I'm not saying I love every single Dynasty Warriors game of all time. I like the series. There's some that I particularly like. I also particularly like Hyrule Warriors. But this game kind of undoes that scale. I'm not saying there's no bits that resemble that scale, but you really don't have to care. You don't have to battle your way to the boss. You can literally ride your horse through all of the other enemies straight to the boss. And once you kill the boss, they all run away. You can put a target on any specific enemies that you're supposed to kill, which makes it very easy to kill them. Even if they're way higher level than you, if you've crafted some items, you pretty much have unlimited health. And they have a lot of iconic characters that have to progress through various weapons that aren't awesome, like their swords and fire sticks and not the specific weapons that a lot of characters had that made people like those characters. The game is separated into chapters. Each chapter has its various characters that are applicable to the chapter. You can select them, experience the chapter through their eyes. It's not worth it. The differences are not that big. After playing as one character, getting through the chapter, and leveling up, getting more items, crafting, I decided to start as another character, and none of that stuff applied to that character. So I was kind of like, actually, you know what? No. Basically, whatever character you start the chapter as, that's who is worth playing through as, because you'll accrue experience, you'll get some weapons, some accessories, and it's like, well, you know what? It's worthless for me to do this again. There's just too much boring nothing for me to want to do it more than once. I ended up just concentrating on whatever characters I could carry progression with. Even with minor variances in what the experience is, I just can't imagine why I would possibly want to repeat chapters. I got a few chapters in, and I am not finishing this game. I'm just done. I'm absolutely not going to give the game the time it would require to complete it. And it's not even because it just totally sucks or anything. It's a disappointment. This should have been good. And some people have said it's the foundation for the next game in the series. It's like, you do realize that this is a game, right? This is a finished product that people are paying $60 for. I like Dynasty Warriors, and I am recommending that you do not buy Dynasty Warriors 9. I'm not saying you can't get any enjoyment out of it, and I'm not going to try to, say you're an idiot or anything if you enjoy this game, but I'm not letting this game take up more of my life. It's that much of a disappointment for me. Did you play this game? Are you going to play this game? Do you agree, or do you have a different experience with it? Leave us a comment, and if you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you're not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.